Hi, and welcome back to the channel Hunter UK. I'm going to have to change that introduction, so monotonous. Anyway, guys, I'll have to say that I was overwhelmed with the responses that I received over the last video. So I want to take this opportunity to say a very big thank you to all of you for your kind comments. And to be honest, it was great to see so many old familiar names. Now, after I published that video, I was stunned at the quick response from Vegas October 1 Sounds. Now, I had dropped Richard an email just to say that I was putting out a video referring to the work that we are doing on the lock interrogation report. And I said to him, Richard, if you could do a video, say by next week or the week after, that'd be great. Because what I'll do is a couple of videos in between while we're waiting for you to do the video. Because obviously the guy is extremely busy. Well, within an hour, I think it was, he had a video up explaining what he was doing. He was showing the program. And I have to say that I was greatly impressed and encouraged by the comments that people had left. So again, to you guys that went over to his channel, I want to say a very big thank you to subscribing to his channel and placing some really good positive comments. So as I said, I was going to do this video while I was waiting for Richard, and obviously Richard has done it now. But I was going to talk about Mandalay Bay staff and that. But now Richard has released that video, I decided to bring this one out. Now, I want to go back to Richard's video, and I want to say this to you guys. You can still be involved with us, and you can do that by going over to Richard's channel and leaving questions, comments, points of view, whatever, on the lock interrogation report. It may well be that you want to have certain types of information on the lock interrogation report. I don't know. Yeah, if you could go over to his channel and place those comments, because Richard is holding a folder, and in that folder will contain a lot of information and questions and points of view, and that is why it's just simpler that if you do it on his channel, and it just cuts out the middleman, which is me. So moving on, I just want to shout out to Las Vegas Shooting Archive and his comment on my last video, which I pinned. I want to say, LVSA, I want to thank you for everything you have done and you continue to do. You, sir, are my silent hero, and if only people knew how much work that you have done and that you are continuing to do on the Las Vegas shooting, just like me, they would be in awe. Now, I often send LVSA private videos, and sometimes you disagree with me or you give me an alternative to think about. But the one thing about LVSA that I will say is I do respect his opinion. He's a great logical thinker. Now, recently, I was going and looking deep into the Joanna thing and also the text from the Daily Mail. It was this point that he introduced me to a girl called Michelle. Michelle is a researcher that works with LVSA. And again, I found somebody who was so in depth, meticulous, and motivated into finding things out. When we were looking at Joanna, some of the things that she found out, it just frightened me. So she goes down rabbit holes where I possibly would never go. So with the text from Kate to the Daily Mail, Michelle contacted the author of the article, and then there was an exchange of emails that took place. Now, with her permission and LVSA, I may well expand on that when I get around to publishing my thoughts on the texts. So, okay, guys, so now to the part where I promised to share my thoughts on some of the Mandalay Bay staff. Now, I've got to say, guys, I have not seen anyone bring this up, and I've certainly not seen a video on what I'm about to bring up. So, this is about me sharing my thoughts on a guy called John Holdridge. You can find a section of it on page 53 on the final report. So now I'll take you to what is written on page 53 of the report in reference to John Holdridge. On October the 4th, at approximately 12:08 hours, Detective DeAngelis and Downing conducted an audio recorded interview with John Holdridge inside the Mandalay Bay. Below is a summary of the interview. Holdridge stated on September the 29th he received a call to freshen room 32134 because the occupant, Paddock, stated he smelled something. Upon going to the room, Holdridge stated there was no one inside. Whilst inside the room, Holdridge put out an air freshener. He did not see any luggage or clothing in the room, and the adjoining door between rooms 32134 and 32135 was closed. Holdridge did not hear any noises from room 32135 and never saw or had contact with Paddock. So what I've done is to go back and I've underlined things that interest me. So the first thing that interested me was that this guy, Paul DeAngelis in Downham, conducted this audio recorded interview. Now these guys, and even DeAngelis on his own, done a lot of interviews with a lot of Mandalay Bay staff. So I went back to LBSA and Michelle and I asked them the question, are there any PDFs or transcripts from audio recorded interviews conducted by DeAngelis? And the answer came back, no. Out of most of the people that done audio recorded interviews, especially with the Mandalay Bay staff or with the law enforcement, they were released, but DeAngelis, none was released. I'll talk about that in probably the next video. So Aldridge stated that September the 29th he received a call, and that's because Paddock had stated that he smelt something. Holdridge stated there was no one inside. While inside the room, Holdridge put out an air freshener. The adjoining door between 32134 and 32135 was closed. Holdridge did not hear any noises from room 32135 and never saw or had contact with Paddock. So those things interested me. So what does this summary tell me or tell us? That this interaction, as it says, occurred on September the 29th. And this is the day that Stephen Paddock entered 32134 for the first time. So this has to be after 1509 when Stephen Paddock swiped the door of 134. State Holdridge did not go to room 32135, he went to 32134. Holdridge went to the room and he entered. No one was inside of the room of 134. Now importantly, so that means that there must be a recording on the lock interrogation report such as staff swiped. Okay, so let's go and look at the lock interrogation report for the 29th of September. So, for the guys who have regularly watched me, this is the spreadsheet that I produced a long time ago, and I keep referring back to it. Though Richard, as you've seen in his video, has turned all of this into a text into Excel so he can run a program. But anyway, I'm going to refer to this one. So as you can see, this is Friday, the 29th of September, which John Aldridge said he went to the room. So as I said, what we are looking for is what is here. This is 135. We're not taking any notice of 135 because Aldridge said 134. But we are looking for a staff card accepted. So as we scroll down, you can see 1509. This is where Stephen Paddock swiped 134 for the first time. So we're looking for staff card accepted in 134. And as we scroll down, we don't see nothing. Interesting. So how did John Aldridge get into 134 if he didn't swipe? That is what we should see. So I said to myself, did he get his days mixed up? Well, it could have been the 28th because obviously Paddock wasn't in 134. So when I would look at the 30th, there is one staff card acceptance, and that is at 1204, which we know that this is to do with the staff replenishing the minibar. Okay, so it wouldn't be that. 1st of October, we go through and we will see that there is no staff that enters that room. So, as I said, how did John Aldridge get into 134 to place the air freshener? Let's go back. So I look at the statement, I look at the lock interrogation report, and it poses me some questions, and the questions are these. As I said, did he get his days mixed up? Well, I showed you that it could not be the fact that he got his days mixed up. So did he lie? If so, why? My conclusion is that this incident never happened. Holdridge did not go to the room. Well, he may have gone to the room, but he did not go inside of the room. As he stated, that there was nobody in there. So, yes, I do think he lied, but I do not know why. We can only assume why. So, going back to this, another point is that Aldridge stated that September the 29th he received a call to freshen the room because Paddock had stated that he smelled something. Well, Paddock is not got Aldridge's number, has he? He wouldn't have rang him direct. What Paddock had done, more than likely, and it is an assumption, but Paddock is rang reception and said, "Do you know what? This room smells." So the reception then sets out a hot SOS to Holdridge to go and have a look and freshen up the room. The way that that would have been done, and there would have been an electronic trail, is via the hot SOS. So the call comes into reception, they put on the hot SOS, Aldridge receives it on his phone, and he goes up. But obviously, as we've said before, we have seen no hot SOS reports, none at all. So that is my take on John Aldridge. As I said, I haven't seen anybody put this up or done a video, but it is blatantly obvious to me that the guy is lying. Intentionally, I don't know. But all I know is that there's nothing in the lock interrogation report that supports a staff member, which is Aldridge, going into the room to put out an air freshener whilst he's inside the room. So that's my conclusion. It didn't happen. So anyway, I'm going to do another video where I'm going to talk about another member of staff, maybe two, because it does involve two. And as I say, I'll probably talk about the Anglers. So I think with that, I'd like to say thanks for watching. And I'll be working with Richard over the weekend. I'm not sure when I get the next video out. Maybe Saturday, Sunday. I'm not sure. But like I say, thanks for watching. And in these awful times, please take care.